Modeling algebra, when we're looking at this, we have to first know some common words or phrases. So when we're looking at a plus, we're talking about, well, plus, we're talking about adding, things like that. Plus, adding, more. Those are all words for plus that could be in a word problem. When we're looking at subtraction, we're looking at difference, minus, subtract. You could say less. There's a bunch of different words we could use. These are common ones. Times would be times, product, multiply, and finally we've got divide, quotient, and even like out of can mean divide as well. Okay, so if we look at a couple questions. So Skylar works at a ballpark selling ice cream bars. He is paid $8 per hour plus a commission of 25 cents for every ice cream bar he sells. Write a formula to model Skylar's earnings. So if we were writing a formula for this, what we would have to think of is we'd do like earnings equals. Now we have to do $8 for every hour, so we'd have something like 8H plus he gets 25 cents for every ice cream bar he sells. So that's going to be 25 per, let's call it, bar. But this is the mistake that a lot of people make because dollars and cents are not equal. So what we have to do is we have to understand that it's actually 0.25. Because I've been talking in dollars in the first part of the question, I have to talk in dollars in the second part of the question. So if he earned $100 in 7 hours of work, how many ice cream bars did he sell? So if we look at this, we're trying to solve for B. Now, remembering back, I know that I can sub in first and then solve, or I can rearrange and then solve. For this question, I think subbing in first is probably the way to go. So we're going to have 100 equals 8 times 7 plus 0.25 B. Now, I could do one of two things here. I could multiply the 8 times 7 and get 56 and then move it over, which is what I'm going to do, or I could move it over first and then work it through that way. So we're going to have, I'll write out a couple steps, 56 plus 0.25B, and then we're going to have 100 minus 56. So we're going to get 44 equals 0.25B. And then we have to divide by 44, or by 0.25. So that's 176 equals B. So what that actually means is therefore we've sold, he is sold, is it he, Skylar? It could be a she. They sold 176 bars. Oh, it is a he, it says in the question. On the next question, so that's that one. On the next question, when we're setting these up, we should always include a let statement and a therefore statement. So we didn't include a let statement in the last one, but we will in this one. So the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 81. What are those integers? Well, 3 consecutive means like 3, 4, 5 or 7, 8, 9. Sum means adding. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let x be the first integer. Now, sometimes people would be like, okay, well, y is the second integer and z's the third. But that's going to actually make this question harder. What I want is I just want one integer. I want one variable. So if I let x be the first integer, the next integer, because we said it's like 3, 4, 5, would have to be x plus 1. And the number after that would be x plus 1, or x plus 2. Now it says the sum of these integers is equal to 81, so that means that I'm adding these together, and it equals 81. Well, I need to collect like terms, so I've got 1, 2, 3 x's plus 3 equals 81. Now that positive 3 I've got to take to the other side, so it's going to be negative. So I'm going to get 78. So 3x equals 78. And then I have to divide by the 3, so I get x equals 26. Well, that tells me that the first number is 26. Well, what that means then is, therefore, the numbers are 26, 27, and 28. And if we want to check to see if we're right, 26 plus 27 is 53, plus 28 is 81. So then that means I'm right. Okay? Here are some questions associated with this note.